Candace Smith from the Three Angels School of Health. We are going to go over our third part in this series on constipation, and we'll be discussing how to use the Constipation Chart. So, this one, it's just a little bit different than I wrote on the board. I included 4 weekly, but let's see. Let's see.
Can you go just one slide back? I didn't get the time to write it down, I guess.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so, you got it?
Almost. Just give me. Cardiac immunosuppression. Yeah, go ahead.
So, when you, as a medical missionary, are talking to someone and they say, I have problems with constipation, the questions that you ask them and the way you figure out how to help them, this chart is kind of just a way to like structure it till you have it in your mind what the person needs.
So it's not like we need the chart related.
Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
you can use it, you know, when you're first starting out, but as you progress, you can just kind of do it in your head.
Okay.
Like, you know, the different numbers of things, you know, that they need certain things. Like, we have the 8 laws of health, so you think about those things in which they need to do to have good bowel movements, right? So you want to ask them, let's see, well, I'd have to go back to the beginning.
Just let me know if you need help.
What'd you say?
Just let me know if you need help.
Sorry.
Yes, just click forward. I guess no, you're starting from the very beginning here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to go, I thought that, laws of health. So when you first sit them down, you say, do you have this? Well, depending on the order you want to do it. Depending on what kind of person they are, if they're a believer, etc. But you kind of want to, you're kind of investigating how they are living. So you ask them about stress. Do they trust in God? Do they get fresh air? How much do they exercise? Do they get out in the sunshine? How much rest? How much water are they drinking? What do they eat? Right? So then, go back to where we are on the chart.
I'm going to start from the beginning again. I think. Oh no, never mind.
And then, okay. So then, now I imagine, I don't know if you guys took notes or not, but this is the handout that we're going to hand out later, I just don't have it. So, you would ask them, how much water a day do they drink? So, I don't know if you remember, but 8 ounces or 8 glasses of water was a -10. Actually, you know what we should do? Well, I'll just do one example, and then maybe we could do an example from the class.
Alright, yes.
So, say the person only drinks 3 glasses of water. Can you see this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can.
So 3 glasses of water is a +20. Now remember, all the pluses were bad. And then, how often do they walk a day? So,
Question, what is the measurement for a day? Is it like 24 hours or is it from morning to like sunset? How would you break it down?
waking hours.
Waking hours, thank you.
So then, how often do they walk a day? So, most people walk 0 to 1 time a day. So that's a +20. Okay. Cool. And then, do they eat flesh foods? +20. Let's say they eat whole grains, because most people think that meat is healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're pushing whole grains, so that's a -5. And do they eat, where do we go, cooked vegetables in a given day? -5. So then, if we add these up, 20, 40, 60, -5, -5 is 50.
-50, yes.
No, it's just it's a plus.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So then, I'm step on that cord there. So you come over here, and you ask them, how many bowel movements a day do you have? So say they have the standard 0 to 1 a day here.
Yeah, most people have.
Most people are right here, or right here, one. So then you have 50, and you just kind of, let's see, how do I do it? Okay, this is the part where I forget. Okay, there it is. So these squares are 5 points. These are the hours, and then these are 5 points each, right? So, well, that doesn't make sense. Oh, because if I'm over here, okay, so it's gonna have to be like 10. Because over here, if you're doing it, there's more squares, but you would like go. You go over. You go over 5 hours, because you're supposed to eat in between meals every 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you go up 50. So they're up
The death range.
the death rate. So, I mean, it's kind of like
No, I understand because the squares aren't exactly equal.
Yeah, because the squares, I kind of messed up the squares.
Yeah.
But you know from looking at it that
Yeah.
that's can't be healthy.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Absolutely.
So basically, this is just teaching you the healthy, unhealthy kind of rule there.
Don't you come to the question as to how many times a day they eat?
And yeah, you want to ask them all the different questions. And so that's where it gets a little like, basically, if there's not that many squares, so if they have all pluses for everything that they do, they have a lot to come down from the constipation. And if they are, you know, moderately healthy, but one of the biggest ones, right, is walking
Yes.
and water,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
If you're not exercising and you're not drinking water, you're in the death range, right?
Yes. Those are even above nutrition because
Even above nutrition.
if you walk, you will still at least use up the food that you put in.
Yes,
It's
and
not
you
good.
and your body will
Someone did.
be moving and stuff. What was that?
Someone needed the logo.
So some people's definition of exercise is like walking from their house to the bus stop, and it's a little walk. So would you call that exercise? Because
It's some exercise, but when we talk about walking, we're talking like miles.
Like
Sweaty.
colporting. Colporting is really good because you do a lot of walking.
no.
I don't know if it says on here how many miles it's supposed to be. But I know for if you're trying to get over a sickness, 4 miles a day. So that's a good
It's a good long way.
good goal to have, but a couple miles is probably adequate for, I don't think I have it written down how many miles it is. I'd have to look that up and see. But I know like if you're trying to get over a sickness, it's 4 miles. And so, but, there's a thing on here where it said walking 2 to 3 times a day to equal 4 miles, you know. So then, I will just show you, let's see. I'll show you the one that I did for class. Where's my eraser? Here it is. I took a person that was eating what I thought to be fairly healthy. And it was brown rice, which is a +10, coconut milk, which is a fat, so it's a +5, pumpkin seeds, which is another fat, so it's a +5. So even though these things are good, they don't necessarily help you with constipation. But apples, banana, now this is breakfast, and an orange are fruits. So those together is a -10. Then for lunch, salad, so that's raw vegetables, is a -20. Tofu, which is a proteins, +5. No, it's good for you, but it doesn't,
It doesn't have any fiber in it.
doesn't have any fiber in it.
It tends to constipation.
So then, and then 2 pieces of white bread,
Am I wrong?
Hmm?
Am I
No.
wrong? Oh, okay.
Because we're just trying to figure out constipation. Not so much nutrition like you're getting, you know. Yes, you're just kind of seeing where you're at. So you balance your diet to where you have those good foods that are good for you versus those that will help you not be constipated.
Right, right.
So if you're eating too many of the good foods that, like that's why even though a person may eat healthy things, but if they don't eat these things, they don't eat this thing, then they don't have the fiber and the stuff that helps things
Right,
move along.
right, yes.
Then we got cooked green beans. I just put cooked vegetables, the -10, and chips. Because as a vegan, chips are vegan, but they're not necessarily good for you, so you get +10. Then, and now this is just the initial assessment, is what it's called. You're asking a person what they eat in a given day. Then you ask them how much water they drink. So this person drinks 3 glasses of water. Okay, that is not legible.
You didn't go to Mennonite school, did you?
I did not. 3 glasses of water. Was that a good or a bad thing?
Bad,
Why is it bad?
because it's far from enough.
Not enough. So it's a +20. The walking, 0 to 1
Bad.
times a day.
Mike, it's a +1 too, right?
It's a +20. Stress,
That's a plus.
it's a +10. And then we start at 1 bowel movement a day. So, what I did when I did the charting is that these things are for a whole day, and this is just for lunch, and this is just for breakfast, so you want to add some things here to this calculation, and one of these to this, you know, so like, I'll put these 2 numbers with breakfast and this number for lunch. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of balances it, because otherwise your charting is like way off
Right.
the chart there. So if we add the 3 glasses of water to breakfast, that is +20, -10. Okay, +1. So that's 10, 15, 20, 30. So we got 30 here. And for lunch it was -15, -10, so this is a -20, back up to -10, and then you get to 0 is 20. So it's a +20 here. So a 30 and a 20. So then you come back over here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go up 30. Remember we were up here. And then 5 hours later, you're still going back up. So their diet, even though it looks good, and their lifestyle, well, the lifestyle not so much, but the eating part looks pretty good, right? So most people would say, that's not too bad. You know, I walk a little bit, not a whole lot, and I drink some water, but I'm stressed and I actually don't drink enough water or walk enough. So then how would we bring the number back down?
Walking and drinking water.
Right, so just ways to fix this one is we make this Yeah, let's write it in a different way. How can I, take this so it's blank? Or just close it, maybe, close the thing? There you go. So then, we would make this 8 glasses of water. Okay, that's, I cannot spell glasses today. I'll just go like this. 8 glasses is minus 10. So then that would change this number to 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the top one to minus 20.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry.
Down to 20.
Thank you. So then this one would be 20.
Mm.
Okay, so it's coming down already. Then we'll come down to this one. We increase our walking to 2 to 3 times daily, and it's 2 to 3 times walking is minus 20.
So that counts.
So over here, this comes to 0,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So already we would stay on a straight line, we wouldn't go up or down.
Right.
Happy mental attitude is minus 10.
It doesn't take much.
So already, without even changing our diet, it's changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's minus 10.
It's just lifestyle.
Minus 10.
So that's why nutrition doesn't even have such a big.
Well,
I mean,
it
it
does,
has, but-
because this is just kind of like shows you the things that you need to
Yes,
do
that's true.
to decrease constipation. Because even though I have the chart like this, there's actually more spaces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
And so you want it to be here,
Marker probably.
here. And so you actually need a lot more than just 4 spaces to get to here. So the way you would change the food, oh, and then you can do like a salt rub is minus 10 is what I did. So then for breakfast, the only thing that I changed, oh, I changed 2 things. Now this is pretty good breakfast, right? Brown rice, coconut milk, pumpkin seeds, apple, banana, orange.
Mm.
But it's actually, if you look at the numbers, not too
Good.
helpful
When it comes to constipation.
when it comes to constipation. So, I said instead that there's in the handout that you don't have, if you have oats plus a half a teaspoon of senna, so you just, have a couple pills or something, people take their vitamins or whatever, it's a minus 10. So instead of plus 10, we have a minus 10, and we're still eating
Grain.
a grain with coconut milk and pumpkin seeds. You know how we have like porridge in the morning? So instead of rice porridge, we're having oat porridge
Right.
with some senna to stimulate the bowels, and then we have an apple, banana, orange, and we add some prunes to that, which is another minus 10, because prunes are more
Oh yeah, they're very.
stimulating than other fruits and stuff, and it's a dried fruit, which is more stimulating also. So then, for lunch, I kept the salad because that's good, right? Minus 20. Then I added avocado because I like avocado on my salad. It's a minus 10. So instead of my salad being minus 20, now it's minus 30. I kept the tofu,
Minus 10.
but avocado is a minus 10.
Okay, so you're subtracting from that.
Well, these are just the numbers that correspond to like
Okay.
oats is a minus 10 on the chart.
Okay.
And so then, It's just showing you what brings it down and what brings it up, you know?
Mhm.
So then, tofu is a little bit constipating, avocado is a little bit not constipating. Salad is really not constipating. And then white bread, instead of white bread, it's whole wheat bread. So instead of a +5, it's a -5.
So whole wheat bread is good.
So wheat bread is good. You know, whole grains are good. Remember on the
Okay, yeah.
previous thing. And then I kept the cooked vegetables or green beans. And then instead of chips, I put flaxseed.
Or seaweed. Okay, I know what you're talking
No,
about.
not seaweed.
In my mind.
But flaxseed's a fiber.
Oh yeah.
So when I was going to school, they would put the flaxseed on the salad.
Mm.
But you could do like chia seeds or,
Ground flax is really good.
yeah, it was ground flaxseed.
Sesame seed.
Yes,
Good.
I don't know if sesame seeds are.
Okay.
I do know that flaxseed is and chia seeds, because they have that, they become jelly-like when
Mhm,
you
mhm.
mix with water.
Okay.
And, which reminds me about the psyllium seed that you drink in water or juice. You drink it right away because before it gets gelatin.
Yeah, before it gets soaked up.
Yeah, because before, when it soaks up the water, it becomes like a
Jelly.
jelly, and then it's hard to swallow it. So anyway, so then the flaxseed was a -15 because it's such good fiber. And so then you see you've added all these minuses instead of all these pluses. And you can see that if you, let's see, okay, should have probably not used this pen. I'll just do black. So then, we had done, so it's a -10 plus these two equals 0. But then we have -10 -10, which is -20. And then we had 8 glasses of water, -30. So if we're over here, starting here, you know, because it's 1 to 0 is what they have a day. And I said, what, -30?
Yes.
So then you come down here, because it's, I'm doing 10, 20, 30. Now it's 1 to 2 bowel movements a day. So we're almost to where we want to be. Then you go to the next meal, and we have -20, -30, you know, it's -25, -30, -40, -55.
And the chips.
Oh, because I take out the chips. Oh, actually, did I take out chips?
Yes, you said.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were
Yeah, no
allowed-
chips.
You just replay it.
So -55, and then these two is 75, 85. So,
On this chart, that would be pretty.
so then on this chart, you're way down here, but you go over 5 again for 5 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a lot more squares here, so you would probably be somewhere in 2 to 3 to 3 or more, which is about right, you know.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of a way to like, I apologize, it's not like,
No, it's fine, it's fine. It's
You
fine.
know.
We get the idea. We get the idea.
yeah. So basically, you're trying to get them more down here, not way up here, and you can kind of see the things that add or subtract from your constipation.
Mhm.
So then, we'll give you this handout that has all the numbers on it. And you can kind of see, like, you would think, just by looking at it, that this original thing was not bad, you know? Because you're getting some of this, and this is fairly healthy. I mean, the white bread, you know, tofu seems like it would be good, and these seem like it would be good. But
So normally on a chart, can you go on that side? I have normally the y-axis and x-axis.
Yeah, yes.
So on that side we have like 10, 20, 30, or each. I see that there's. I know you said there are spaces. So how would you separate what's the measurement for those
Well,
squares?
the chart that you have here, if you want to look at the charts that we handed out in the handout, I would say that, and it really just depends too on how many things you're gonna write on there. But I would say like 10. I would say 10 for each square.
10? All right, thank you.
You can make your own numbers, really.
You really can. Because they told me 5, and I thought that was a little extreme. I thought 10 worked better. But it just kind of depends how much information you're gonna plug in there, you
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
And in reality, you know, you look at the person and you see what they need. Like if they, maybe, you know, they're not vegetarian and it's gonna be hard for them to just turn over and start eating a certain way, you can recommend more herbs, you know, and then just try to slowly teach them how to eat better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And each person who you work with will get their own sheet and probably
No.
their own file. How do you?
You don't
do it?
give it, you don't, well, you
I
don't.
mean, like when you. Do
When
the
you write it out,
assessment,
yes, you would
okay.
write out you do your initial assessment and then you give them the protocol, it's called,
Right, but I keep this
for yourself.
for my team and
Mhm.
also.
And Pastor Smith will show you more about protocols
Okay.
and, because basically that's what it is you're doing an assessment, what they normally eat, you figure out how they need to make changes, and then you write a protocol, what they need to do,
Right.
you know. So this here, the revise is the protocol, you know. Woo.
And that's the assessment. The other one is the assessment.
Yeah, the first one, what they actually eat, you know, most people aren't gonna eat this healthy. They're gonna eat like,
Fries and burger. Maybe.
oh man, like the first one I just thought about somebody that I knew what they ate
Oh my.
that's not an Adventist, and it was really bad. Because they would eat, you know, like an Egg McMuffin and cereal for breakfast, just a little bit of fruit, and then lunch was like a sandwich and chips, you know, and then dinner was meat and potatoes or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally. I know.
And so then I forget which one it was for, but it was not good. So then it was like, okay, you want to eat fresh fruit, you want to eat more vegetables, you want to eat whole grains, you know, you want to not eat so much meat, you know, maybe, like we were saying, if they're, a lot of people will get shocked if you try to change their diet like too extremely, you know.
Yeah.
Depending on their situation, you know, or what their issue is, yes.
And question, for each individual, I mean, is it like, how am I looking at this? Would you want to, before you do assessment and everything, you probably consult with them and tell them to keep like a journal, a meal journals, because some people don't remember what they eat,
You can.
because
But this is just kind of like
one
Basic. What
you just
do
say what you
usually
usually eat,
usually eat.
you know,
For one day?
for one day.
Okay.
So most people eat 3 times a day, maybe they have snacks. You know, this is kind of like an Adventist
Okay.
that knows about health, but they don't really know really what's healthy per se. And so then, because as an Adventist, you're like, yeah,
These look good.
it's vegetarian, I mean vegan, it's like, of course the white bread, we should know better, but you know, maybe not. And, yeah. But these are the harder ones to do. A lot of people say it's hard to drink water, it's hard to exercise, it's hard not to stress out, you know.
And then question, I see some people, they say it's hard to drink water, but they put like the carbonate, the bubble water, and what do you think about that? The water with the fizz in it.
Carbonated water.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you think about that?
fresh, clean water is
Number one.
number one. Anything different than that, like carbonation, can cause other problems, you know, with gas and, I mean, I haven't researched it enough, but you know, there's people that say carbonation leaches the calcium out of your bones.
Alright.
And so it's not ideal. You want to drink plain water.
Yes.
Now, the one thing I have told people that if they really hate water, because some people don't like it at all, add some lemon to it. You
Well,
know,
the
and
thing
that will
is-
only help them.
The thing is, it's here.
Yes, it's in the mind.
If they say they hate water, you can train yourself to like water.
Right. And not only that, maybe they drink city water,
Yeah.
and that of course tastes terrible. You know, my grandma's got the worst water, and it's like finally my aunt bought her a filter for it, and even then it still doesn't taste that good, but it's better. But and it is in the mind really, because
Oh,
anything with health that's good for you, like the herbs, the bitter herbs are what heal your body.
Yeah, and
It's
and
not the sweet fruits.
the thing is, when it comes to food, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me,
Yes.
so I can eat the thing I hate too.
Yes, exactly. Because fruits, everybody loves fruit.
Yeah, of
It
course.
cleanses your system, but the vegetables are what heal you,
Right.
you know?
right.
And so the vegetables are more bitter, and that's not because God intended them to be bitter, but because of the state of the world and the soil. Because I've had sweet vegetables from a garden where the soil is good, you know, like the tomatoes that we've been getting from the garden. Sweet, right?
No, they're
Oh,
really
yeah.
sweet. They're
Like
really
this,
nice.
like candy almost, like nature's candy, and it's not even a fruit.
That's what we have to get for Halloween. Tomatoes.
Don't even mention the word Halloween.
Seriously.
Don't even mention, don't acknowledge it.
Yes. Satan's holiday. we
That's
will
right.
not mention. Anyway. So, but basically you want to look at their lifestyle. You know, you want to think about the 8 laws of health. Are they getting these things?
Yeah.
Especially for constipation, it's the exercise, temperance, you know, overeating will stop their digestion. Eating the wrong foods, wrong combinations. Then they want to drink plenty of water and get plenty of exercise. And most people, if they say that they can't exercise, you have to find some way to get them to do some form. Like a lot of people that need help with their health maybe can't walk more than 5 feet without getting winded or something. So you have them, or 10 feet. So you have them walk as far as they can go and come back. Next time, a little bit farther, and they will gain strength.
Get them a walker.
Get them a walker.
Cause them to walk along some kind of railing or something.
Yeah, something. And I mean, we've had many people that we know that, you know, my husband's helped, where they started off, could only walk to the end of the driveway. And then by the end of like 2 weeks, they could walk 4 miles. Just like that. Because he was determined that he would do all that was required to get healthy. He wasn't going to say, no, I'm not going to do that. He just kept trying, and God helped him.
That's right.
So any questions?
No, that's pretty interesting.
The questions always come later.
Oh, video? How much later?
A couple of hours often.
Okay. I'm sure I'll be around. Okay, well, shall we pray? John, will you pray?
Dear Lord, thank you for the health message, and thank you that Candace could be here to teach us and help us to have a wonderful rest of our day so far. And thank you for your blessings and mercies. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.